Hello everybody, it is Sunday the 10th of April. Right, I want to talk about this eternal God that never changes, which is precisely the problem. Now, when I started during this journey, as I said, I have got reoccurring thoughts that over time I put a meaning to. An understanding. And the thought that always came to me and has always been with me is, I give you 2 sons and a daughter. And just talk about the 2 sons, which in my case, when I started this and working this, looking at it from 2 sides, because you need 2 sides in order to have a conversation, in order to reason. And I always saw the 2 lions, and it's the lion of Judea and the lion of Sapphad, which is Luria and which is Jesus, Yesek Luria. And they had 2 desires, 2 ways by what they thought the meaning of this is, and from the meaning comes the way, what you should do. The meaning to Yesek Luria was that we were correcting the heavens. The meaning to Jesus was we're bringing the heavens to earth. Yeah? So there you have the 2 thoughts of what it is we're actually doing here. Now, with Jesus, he found a way. And that is, everything, glory, hallelujah. He is the door through which all shall enter in. And folks, that's not us going to heaven. That is the heavens coming here. Yeah? That's the door that he opened. So, and I saw the woman stood in the middle, which is, I think, is the heart. And she's holding the scales. Now, she is the one that is the law. Yeah? And when it says in the Great Tribulation that the powers of heaven shall be shaken, that means the law has been broken. When the heavens open and they come, the law has been broken. And the more you go up against the law, the more you create tribulation, which is why Jesus has created, his teaching has created the Great Tribulation. That is the Great Tribulation, going up against the law. And I want to show you how this is done. Now, showing you in the picture, and the pictures again have meanings. Everything we see here has a meaning. It is energy and vibration. It is thought, it is desire, it is knowledge. The knowledge of us and the knowledge of this earth that are entangled with each other and are causing tribulations. Life. It is creating life, and life is tribulation. It doesn't have to be a great tribulation if you go about it the right way. But it is tribulation because it is the entanglement of 2 things that are trying to create balance, which is the law of the woman, balance. So, as I said, the pastors are saying God is eternal and he never changes. There's the problem. In the picture, as I see it, when we get born, and that is how you enter this world, you get born. Yeah? You do not open a door in heaven and come down. You're getting born. Once you are born, you get entangled with the knowledge of this world, which is the bacteria of this world, the dust. Your microbiome starts forming. And it's being nourished by this world. That is knowledge, that is the connectivity, that is the dust. Yeah, people look for the dust. I mean, I'm reading Greg Braden, and he's talking about the head and the heart, yeah, which takes you to about here. Hello, what about the rest of your body? You only have half a person there. And he's talking about the fact that there are only two brains now. We have two brains, one in the heart and one in the head. Actually, there is a brain in the gut. We know that. There are neuron-like cells in the gut. He's talking about the great intuition of the heart. We used to call that gut feeling. Yeah. And really looking at the cells of the body and saying, that is us. And really leaving out, maybe they say microbiome cells could be as much as 1 to 9, 9 parts and 1 part, or well, at least 7 parts and 3 parts. So leaving out something, the biggest part of us. But if you're only looking at part of what we actually are and actually completely ignoring the rest of the body, you'll not find the truth. But this is where we're going. The brain is God. The brain has to rule. God is ruling over the dust. Whereas the dust is trying to teach you to stay in balance with the knowledge of this world. It is the knowledge of this world. And it's trying to teach you to stay in balance in order to have life here. Now, Thoth in the emerald tablets said, I went to many worlds and I took on many forms. Again, he did not go in a starship and stayed as he was in order to enter the world. Because as far as I can make out, his body was somewhere, lying somewhere, but he was going to the thought. His energy was going to another world. And again, it emerged itself in that world, whatever different matrix he's going into, he's emerging himself into it. And he's taking on the form that is again created by the entanglement of himself and that world, wherever he's going. So he takes on a different form. Another thing that came to me was when, even in this world, when people go and live in a different country, like Europeans. I've seen a documentary about a couple that lived in China, European couple that had lived in China for the most part of their lives. Now, I'm not talking about expats. I'm not talking about people that go and live in another country and create a little bubble for themselves in which they stay what they are, and then they are watchers. They are watchers of the culture that is going on around them. But they lived like Chinese. They ate like Chinese. They understood the way of the thinking of the people. They started thinking like that. They had fully immersed themselves into the culture. And honest to God, they had started looking Chinese. I mean, you could still see they were Europeans. They were not quite Chinese, but there was something about them, about their skin, about their features that had changed. So there you have the way to truly learn. We are immersing ourselves into the knowledge of this world, or we should. And we're doing, when in Rome, do as the Romans do, or you should. And you see, that's the problem. God has no intention of doing that. God does not change. When the heavens open, he's not being born into this world. He does not get entangled with this world. But he comes as himself to rule over, to have dominion over what is here. Again, we've seen that in our own history happening. When the Europeans went to other cultures, to meet the natives, they did not get entangled in the way, they did not learn the knowledge of the natives, but they went there to rule over them, because I am so much greater than you, and you are but dust. Again, you are but dust. You know nothing. And we shall bring our great knowledge to rule over you. To a point right now, I don't even know if there is something out there trying to get in, or if this is purely talking about us. You know, if this story is just showing us ourselves. Or it might be just that we are a picture inside a greater picture inside a greater picture, in which case there is something out there trying to get in. So, and the way Jesus did is the fulfillment of desire. Yeah? Now, again, if you were of sound mind, which a lot are not, you would not wish for something to come and rule over you. In fact, your nature should speak against that. Which is, again, it is the dust of this world that is speaking against it being that way. But if we talk about that desires will be fulfilled, then if enough people desire for this to happen, it will happen, but it is against the law. It is against the way things are done. You do not come in here to rule over. You come in here to get entangled and to learn. Not to rule over. So then, coming to the end, if I see the two, you know, the line of Judea and the line of Southward, we are here to correct the heavens. We are here to bring the heavens to earth. That is to say, we are giving of our knowledge. Adam and Eve were going to give of our knowledge to the gods. Then the correct way to serve is we are bringing the heavens to earth by correcting them, by correcting their thinking. And that is the correct way to enter into this world. Through birth, through becoming entangled with this thing. Not I am and I'm coming to rule over. So say it could speak just about us, or there are greater pictures that all work by the same thing. Now, the one reason why I really wanted to make this video is we are being changed. We are being conditioned. We are creating a desire for this thing to happen, which might be answered, which would be wrong. We should not have that desire to start with. But in this world, we see two things. One is they're already working on our thought, which is called indoctrination, which is called propaganda, applied psychology. I mean, we're working on the head, big style. We are being told that to only consider our body to up to here. We're only considering the brain and the cells, and forget about the dust. It's but dust. Forget about that. There's another, we've been conditioned into that. And the third thing is that they are working on mapping the microbiome, on trying to find out how it works. And there are an awful lot of corporations, obviously, financing this research and very interested in it. Obviously for all the best reasons, you know, for medicine and for bringing health to this world, you know, just to cure illnesses. That's always the reason, isn't it, that we're messing with anything? Whilst that is our reason, the world is getting increasingly sicker. So either we're complete idiots or the intention is something else. So this is why we must be aware of this, because they are working on it. They're working on us. And those that are the image of God, they're already here. They're doing, and they live in bubbles. They are expats. They're not attached. They're not immersed in life. But they are outside of it, finding the knowledge that should aid something to rule over. But that, again, is that just talking about us, or is there actually something else that wants to come? I don't know. Either way, it's a bad thing, you know. If you're really ruled over and over the rod of iron, doesn't actually matter what it is that is ruling over you. I mean, would you feel differently according to what it is that is doing it to you? You probably wouldn't. Anyway, folks, I leave it at this. And as I said, I want to leave it at this for a while, for myself. Because in the end, we need to test drive a thought, looking at this world through the eyes of that thought, and see if we can work something, can see something. And whereas I'm busy building the thought, I'm not actually have time to look through the eyes of it, which is what I want to do now. So I'm not saying never, because that never works out, but just for now, I'm going to take a break. So I'm sure I will talk to you again sometime, and I'll see you then. Bye.